and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brandon, bringing you all professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever else you can come up with in this wonderful world we call pro wrestling. Folks, welcome into the Slow Burn. Happy Friday. We made it to freaking Friday, baby. I knew we could do it. Actually, if you would have told me that at around noon yesterday, I could have said there's no way I'm making it to Friday. All right. I did the show yesterday. If you didn't know, it couldn't pick up my mood. That's as fake as I could ever be, guys. I was having a bad, bad day. Oh, got the slow burn coming off. All right. There we go. Fixed. So the whole thing is that, like, I don't know. I think sometimes it takes a little bit of wrestling to kind of get the things rolling when things have been so bad. All right. And that was me yesterday. So honestly, doing this put me back in the right frame of mind. All right. So sometimes you need a slow burn to put yourself back in the right frame of mind. All right. I'm just saying what you got to say. Okay. That is what it is. So happy Friday. We did make it. It is SummerSlam weekend. SummerSlam weekend is upon us, guys. And not just any SummerSlam. First ever 2-night SummerSlam. All right, the second PLE event that WWE will put on for a 2-night show along with WrestleMania. Guys, Royal Rumble's going to get to this way. Survivor Series is going to get to this way. As long as this keeps happening, as long as we keep lining pockets, and we will, meaning the royal we, yeah, we're going to keep on doing it. So give me as much as you possibly can. I actually heard an interview earlier today that was talking about how, like, it just, these 2-night shows just water everything down and all that. And you know what? I don't agree with that. All right. Because I'm going to look at this as the side of the wrestler. Okay. If I am a wrestler and I might be in that upper mid card, right, and it's a 1-night SummerSlam, there's probably a pretty damn good chance that I'm not making it on this show. Okay. We get a 2-night show. We're getting more performers. We're getting more matches. We're getting more talent involved. Boom, there you go. Now I'm making money. So if you look at it in that aspect, I mean, look at it from their point of view, that's the way I do it. So, good on them. Thank you very much. I'm going to spend it anyway. So that's kind of the way I feel about it. So it is what it is, but, to each their own. But as far as last night, we had a busy night last night, fellas and fellettes. All 10 of you. I don't know. How many fellettes are in here, right? Maybe 2. I know mom, mother. I don't know. Anyway, we had a big night last night. Obviously, we had AEW Collision, which I told you I was going to watch first. And then we had TNA Impact, which I watched pre-recorded because it was already pre-recorded coming from Rhode Island. All right. So we had a lot of stuff to do. Let's get to it. All right. Collision. This is the last show from the run. It was a 4-week-long run in Chicago at the Aragon Ballroom. Guys, I'm just going to call it what it is. This was the worst show that they had at the Chicago run, in my opinion. I'm not saying it was bad. I scored it a B. I thought some of the wrestling was in. I thought some of the story was good. I thought the crowd sucked. I really did. And I have been all about the Chicago crowd. Now, with that said, well, we got 4, we've done it for 4 weeks. So that's 8 shows. If 7 out of 8 shows you bring it, I got no complaints whatsoever. So tip of the hat to the Chi-Town wrestling people for getting it all done. Last night, not so much. Worst crowd out of the whole run, like I said. But the wrestling itself was pretty good. We opened up, though, with some non-wrestling. Sometimes AEW takes a page out of the old sports entertainment book and opens up with a promo. This one here, a little different than most, as we see the Death Riders kind of taking over. Moxley comes down. I was a little surprised to see Moxley come down and start this show off, all right? But I'll tell you this, his promo was really good. And his promo not really directed at the title. It's not really directed at Hangman. This promo from Moxley is directed completely at Darby Allin. And he calls Darby Allin out. He's like, come on out of here. You cost me this belt. You cost me my chance. Now you cannot keep your nose out of my business. So I'm going to give my business to you. And that's the approach that he took. Darby appears up in the balcony, which, if you watch Dynamite the night before, he jumped from. The way they had the camera panned out to show that balcony and how high up it actually was kind of gives you a little different appreciation for what Darby did Wednesday night on Dynamite. I paused it. My wife didn't get to see Darby do the jump off of that with the flying crossbody on Dynamite Wednesday night, so I showed her, and then they ended up showing the replay of it anyway later on. But she was in awe of it. She's like, "Oh my God, what, this guy is freaking crazy!" And I'm sitting there like, "Yeah, and he's all crazy for us." And how freaking awesome is that? So, Darby comes out. He's on the balcony, but then he escapes into the crowd, right? We're not going to see Darby. He's vanished into the people because he's a person of the people. That's what we're saying. Well, Moxley and the Death Riders, they're going on a hunt, right? They're going on a hunt. They're going to find Darby, and they're going to do whatever they need to do to justify, to rectify this situation of Moxley being robbed of his chance to reclaim his belt, right? Good opening, solid opening. Matter of fact, I thought it was good theater. I enjoyed it. I thought Darby's face paint looked awesome, by the way, too. I don't know why I just wanted to say that. But we opened the action up coming back to the Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, the last of the quarterfinal matches, even though Tony Schiavone at one point said it was part of the semifinal matches. But when it's coming from Tony Schiavone, I pay very little attention regardless anyway. I hate that I am constantly ragging on Tony Schiavone because I loved him so much back in the WCW days. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is, and I'm sorry if you're a Schiavone guy, and I've offended you. Whatever. So, is there really a Tony Schiavone guy out there? Is that, like, when you think about the great wrestling play-by-play guys of like history? Is anyone picking Tony Schiavone? Maybe there's somebody out there that's like a freaking hardcore Georgia person that not only listened to Schiavone and the NWA and WCW, but listened to Georgia Bulldog games, and that he did, because he did do that, by the way. I don't know. I've gone off. Let's get back on track here. All right, our first match was Bro Dito, that new tag team. We've seen him a couple times in action. Brody King and Bandito. I've said before. I said this yesterday. I really enjoy this team. They're very good as far as fluidity. Their chemistry is very good. They showed off the finisher last night that I really enjoyed. And to be honest with you, I was surprised that Brodito, as they're called, it's even on the board, on the TV that way now, too, in the tournament bracket and the whole nine. But they're taking on the Gates of Agony, or now as we call them, GOA. They're no longer Gates of Agony. They're GOA. And by the way, they look really good. This new presentation of Gates of Agony, excellent. Also, Toa Leona, body transformation, makes him look even more like a monster. So, up and up for Gates of Agony. I'm sorry, GOA. But Brodito goes over here, and honestly, I was kind of not expecting that. I really was. That was an unexpected finish for me, but I love it, and that's what I put on my note here. I said unexpected finish, but I completely love it. But this match showed off how sleepy the damn crowd was. Like, the crowd was sitting on their hands during this match. Why? Why are you? Now, I know it wasn't quite as full as it had been in the recent weeks, and it's towards the end of the show. But for me, it's my last shot, man. I'm going to be loud as I possibly can, unless I lost my voice from Dynamite the night before. But this match deserved a lot more energy than what it got from the crowd. And to be honest with you, there were times, especially times when Bandito was in the ring, I thought that the crowd was so dead. Like, it wasn't. It almost made the match go down quite a few notches. Always crowd emotion will fuel a match, but can also throw water on the fire too, So, yeah, tough. That was a struggle for me because I thought the match was damn good. I thought the outcome was freaking amazing, getting Brodito with the win. You guys know my opinion of Brody Lee. I think Brody Lee is phenomenal. By the way, if there's a big man in history that has done a suicide dive, a tope suicida, as good as Brody King, call me out on it. I want to know who it is so I can pull it up and look at it. I just know off the top of my head, I've never seen a big man do a tope, do a suicide dive the way that Brody King does. I mean, it is electric. So, really good job. I enjoyed the match. I just didn't enjoy the crowd. And this is why this show is going to end up at a B. It could have been much higher than that. The crowd really brought it down. All right. We get backstage again, and the Death Riders, they're searching for Darby. They go through this outdoor area. They walk through the door. Darby then appears out of nowhere, closes the door, puts the rag full of, I assume, chloroform in Moxley's face, and then kidnaps him. Yeah, that just call it what it is. Darby Allin kidnapped John Moxley. That's illegal, brava. I don't even know. I loved it. I absolutely loved that piece because Darby knows. I mean, he doesn't have the numbers advantage over the Death Riders. That's a hard freaking sell for him, especially with the fact no matter how reckless and insane that he is, he's not taking on Moxley, Yuta, Claudio, and Marina Shafir all at once because he has zero chance of winning. And Darby is a lone wolf. We know that, right? So I like this way to attack. I think it lands way more to the story. Now, later on, when he, has that attempted murder on Moxley, it's a totally different bag for me. I think the story even gets crazier. But I liked this piece, right? And we get back to the ring. Chris Statlander had a squash match. I don't even remember the Australian girl. Oh my God, I didn't write her name down and I hate that. Oh yeah, I did. Lena Cross. Lena Cross. I always knew that. I think that she's got some real talent. I think she's going to be a quality wrestler soon. I don't know why I drew a blank there. But more of that Australian feeder wrestlers coming over to America. Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, Rhea Ripley, Buddy Matthews, go on and on and on. Did I say Rhea Ripley? Grayson Waller, we're seeing a lot more Australians come into this business. And to be honest, Bronson Reed, to be honest with you, I love it, man. I think it's phenomenal. But she got squashed, right? And I thought Stat looked fantastic. But the best part of this was after the match, as Stat is walking out, and she's celebrating, still kind of not sure if she's embracing this heel thing or embracing the babyface thing. She's still floating there in the middle, which I'm liking. I'm enjoying that. But when Willow's music hit, as Stat was walking backwards up the ramp, celebrating, that hit for me. That really hit for me. And to be honest with you, the way Willow came out with her normal self, celebrating, happy, jovial, and then the kick right beside Statlander, but at the same time, not acknowledging Stat at all, just zooming right past what that did. I don't know why, because I've been kind of down on this feud again. Like, why are we doing this again? I love both of these ladies, and I want them in a different story. I'm going to tell you this. This is crazy to me. That interaction or lack thereof turned me right back around on this. I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally into it. What they just did was reset the story in a way that can work well on both sides, to be honest with you. Now, the one thing that it also could do is maybe create that partnership back again. But do they need to fight again to make that happen? And the reason I say that is because Willow took on Tekla. All right. And Tekla comes out with her Triangle of Madness partners and Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And I'm going to tell you, this really another surprise for me. Tekla goes over in this match. And it was a great match. If you like hard-hitting women's style matches, watch this one if you didn't see it because it was outstanding. But Tekla going over, that surprised me, but I'm okay with that. Then the questions really start coming in for me, all right? Triangle of Madness starts beating up Willow. You could foresee this. You knew it was going to happen because Willow got physical with them during the match. Makes sense. I'm good for it. Then Megan Bain's music hits. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is Megan Bain getting ready to make the save for Willow? Okay, this is a different character trait. I'm interested in this. Then Penelope Ford runs down the ramp and jumps in on starting to kick the shit out of Willow Nightingale. What? What? So now all of a sudden this Triangle of Madness now has a partnership with Penelope Ford, and Megan Bain gets to the ring and she's gonna throw the finisher on Oblivion. We're gonna get this, and Megan Bain is gonna take out. Explain it. What was my notes here on this? I put what? Post-match Penelope and Bain? What? That was what I said here. And it's like, I don't understand this. Like, all right, Queen Aminata comes down. Ty Mello, and Anna Jay, they come down, they make the save. Now, my real question is on this, that's 3 people that are able to run out 5 people, one of which is supposed to be this unstoppable force, Megan Bain. This makes 0 sense to me. This makes zero sense to me. Make it make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. Now, the question can become, this is how you can make it make sense to me, I guess. All right. You have those 5 women: Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne, Tekla, Julia Hart, Sky Blue. All right. Triangle of Madness and Megan Bayne and Penelope, right? Queen Aminata, Anna Jay, Ty Mello, Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander. That, think about that. So I make it make sense to me, because honestly, I didn't enjoy it. The whole thing was stupid, and I'm tired of seeing Willow lose. Um, we go back to the tag team elimination tournament, or eliminator tournament, I should say. This is a semifinals match, Tony. Winner of this match was going to go to the final. We had FTR going over the Bang Bang Gang, or as Stokely Hathaway called them the night before on Dynamite, the Bang Bang Gang Bang. I still think that's funny. I rewatched that clip to watch Dax and Cash giggle. That was funny. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's funny. Solid match. I will say this: it started off really, really good. By the way, love the intro for the Bang Bang Gang, bringing out the cardboard cutouts, not only of Jay White but also of Colton Gunn. That was good. Leaning back to the old Bullet Club Gold days. Please give me more of that. All right, you don't have to call yourself Bullet Club. I get it. I understand that, but give me some more of that. I need Jay White back. Fast. And not that anything is bad. I just love Jay White. All right. But as good as the match was at the beginning, I thought it slowed down towards the end. And I understand sometimes when you're dealing with like the chicken shit heel type of thing, you sometimes have to slow that story down in order for it to come across and make sense to the masses at home, especially those that maybe don't watch a lot of wrestling. But I don't know. It just got a little too slow. But overall, I thought the match was really good. If I was grading this match, I would grade it a B plus. It was a really good match. It just, I don't know. The pace slowed down a little bit for me, and you don't normally see that out of an FTR match. But with them making this heel turn, you've seen it a little bit more and more. And with Stokely out there, he's got to get his work into. So I understand it. I don't know. It's just not my enjoyable thing as much as I love tag team wrestling. But FTR goes over. They are going to be in the finals. All right, and we're going to get their opponent next Wednesday in the final of this eliminator tournament, as the Young Bucks are going to take on Brodito. As much as I want this to be Brodito, because I want to see this team keep marching, I look at these guys kind of like in WWE, how I've latched on to Andrade and Rey Fenix, who are not a tag team, yet are so damn good as a tag team. I know there's not comparison as a team and how they wrestle, but to be quite honest, man, this thing works as far as that. I look at Brody King and Bandito on that same light. I really do. I enjoy this tag team. They're not beating the Young Bucks, guys. They're not beating the Young Bucks, but at least it kind of gives us an idea of what they can do, and maybe throw them into this picture moving forward after this tournament is over with. Stay together, maybe. I don't know. We got to find something for Brody, right? Let's see here. What did we get here? So it was good stuff. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling we're going to end up getting a Young Bucks win here, and then Young Bucks versus the Hurt Syndicate. That's what I'm guessing, because of this new theme that the Young Bucks are doing, which I love. All right. After this, we had a Max Caster Open Challenge. Roosh comes out. A little different twist on this. Max finally gets one because Roosh did not give a damn about the 5-minute mark. He didn't care if the time went. He was there to hurt Max Caster. That was the story of this. Only thing I wish on this was that the announce team didn't start talking about how Roosh didn't care about the time like 2 minutes in. Wait till you're about 4 minutes in, when it's actually getting close to crunch time. I felt like they rushed that part of the story a little bit, and I know I'm nitpicking here, all right? The other thing on this was the crowd was very split. Roosh had a lot of chants going on, and then we had "Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive." Pretty good. So the only thing that I thought, though, is I thought that Max would get more positivity coming from the stuff that happened last week with Anthony Bowens. I just really naturally thought the crowd would kind of gravitate to him being a babyface. I really did, because of Bowens looking for that heel turn. But, they've been there through this whole run. It's the same city. So, you look at it the same. Hey, you've been bad-mouthing us for 3 weeks. Now, what the hell? So, overall, though, not bad. The crowd was split. LFI comes down after it was all over. Like I said, Max gets the win because it goes over 5 minutes. So that part happened. LFI comes down, Beast Mordos and Drolistico. Before you know it, the save is going to be made by Jet Speed and AR Fox. We're going to get LFI versus Jet Speed and AR Fox. That'll be a damn fun match. Hopefully we get that next week. That'll be a lot of fun. So you kind of see the writing on the wall here of what's going to happen. All right. After this, guys, we had the in-ring debut of Skyflight. That is the new team of Top Flight and Scorpio Sky, along with Christopher Daniels as their manager. They took on Shane Taylor Promotions with Shane Taylor and the Infantry. Guys, that was a decent match. I didn't like the fact that everyone seemed to have matching gear. I don't usually get into that whole matching gear stuff. I critique gear. I like the look of different gear and stuff like that. I'm freaking insane, but on this, when all six guys seemed to like have the same gear, I just thought it was dumb. So I didn't like it. The match turned me off right away. But I do want to say Scorpio Sky looked very, very good again. All right. And I would watch him do that finisher. That's one of the cleanest finishers that you'll see. Check it out if you haven't seen it. All right. After this, we go backstage again. And Darby Allin is about to throw Jon Moxley off of a building into the oncoming L train. Like, that's attempted murder, brother. That's illegal, brother. I don't even know what you say. This is going to be a really good story. Like, that's all I know. I'm going to love this whole Moxley stuff moving forward with Darby, all right? Main event, I need to speed up a little bit, guys. I'm not going to have a lot of time to do much TNA. But the main event here, Kyle Fletcher wins his first singles gold in AEW as Kyle Fletcher beats the natural Dustin Rhodes for the TNT Championship. This was this it was a great match. It was bloody. It was violent. Dustin is so underappreciated and so underrated. Kyle Fletcher is the future. I kind of seen the writing on the wall, but personally, in my heart, I just hate that Dustin lost this belt after one defense. He beat Lee Moriarty last week in his first defense, looked great, and then you knew tonight you just had a feeling about it. So he only gets 2 matches as champion. I know it's a thank you to him, giving him that belt, but at the same time, I just like, couldn't we have a little bit more? Like, give him a little bit more. This match here, maybe time limit draw, and then have it go a couple more times. Like, I just don't understand why it was that fast. And again, that's me personally. I understand it from the story's sake. I understand that Dustin has other belts that he has to defend. I also understand the fact that Dustin's freaking almost 60 years old. Like, I get that, but at the same time, man, I don't know. He's so underappreciated. So well done. All the around, well done. Callis, once again, great job on commentary and his interference. So great stuff. Like I said, I scored the show a B. Wasn't the worst show, but it definitely wasn't the best show. I can say the same for TNA Impact last night. Recorded from Rhode Island, a lot like the Chicago crowd, man. They were dead. It wasn't a great crowd. There was a lot of empty seats, especially towards the end of the show. I hate that because TNA is so freaking hot right now. They're doing the best business they've done maybe ever, right? The product is so good, and yet I thought that the crowd suffered from last night. So it just kind of was what it was. And the whole show had a little bit of a weird flow to it. I don't know. It's just an odd thing. All right. Let's talk about what happened. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these matches, guys. Because now, hey, by the way, in case I do run out of time, tomorrow I'm going to try to do an early show so I can do my SmackDown recap and also give our SummerSlam Night 1 predictions. That's my plan. And then on Sunday, I'll do an early show so I can give my SummerSlam Night 2 predictions and kind of review Night 1. So that's going to be my plan for tomorrow. Try to get an early show in, and then we can all enjoy SummerSlam tomorrow evening, all right? But for Impact, Leon Slater went over Cedric Alexander, Jason Hotch for the X Division title, keeping it. Fantastic match, man. I know we're going to get, they've even already said that Emergence, we're getting Leon Slater versus Cedric Alexander. I wish that was flip-flopped. I do. I wish that was Leon Slater versus Jason Hotch. I just think those two have such great chemistry together. And we are going to see them going for a very long time. All right. Tag match, Danny Luna, Indy Hartwell over Jody Threat and Ariana Grace. Meh. It was an okay match. Nothing to write home about. Jake Something has challenged Steve Macklin. We're going to get that match again for the International Championship. I enjoyed that the first time. And I even enjoyed the triple threat when they added in Mance Warner. So looking forward to seeing that. We had the Nemeths, Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth over the Rascals. Great match, really weird ending, especially post-match. I love Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler. Sometimes his heel is a little forced on me, and I thought last night post match it was. I think Ryan's heel comes off so much more naturally right now. So when these two split up, it's going to be fantastic. We also got the hometown man as he comes in to make the save and gets beat up. Great promo from Mike Santana. Fantastic promo. Emotional promo from Mike Santana. Guys, Mike Santana's winning this TNA championship soon. All right, I'm telling you. It's not going to be a long time before they can keep this belt off of him. I'm telling you. Let's see. Masha Slamovich over JC Jade by disqualification. All right. Ash by Elegance comes in and interferes. All hell broke loose. The Elegance brand came down. Fatal Influence comes down. You have Masha along with Zaya and Li Ying Li. You know what we're getting out of this. We're going to get a triple threat out of all of these teams is what we're going to get. So, and it'll be good, but it's going to be interesting to see the direction they go with this belt. I have a feeling it's going to go back to the TNA side sooner than the men's will, but we'll see. All right. Let's see. Sammy Callahan interview was fantastic. Basically saying that at Emergence, Sammy Callahan wants to wrestle a huge match, and this could be it. If he loses, I'm going to get more time into this later on when we get more ideas of what's happening. But basically, Sammy could have one more match, or he could keep going. So we'll see what happens. But I liked the interview piece. I thought it was good, and Tom Hannafin did a great job as always. Main event, we had the System. I can't believe the women's match wasn't the main event either, by the way. But we had the System. That was Moose and Eddie Edwards. They went over Trick Williams and AJ Francis. This was supposed to be a triple threat with JDC and oh my gosh, Casey Navarro. Jesus Christ, drew a blank. Casey Navarro was still hurt. He didn't get cleared, and he is actually really hurt. He has a knee injury. But he didn't get cleared, so it ended up being Moose, Eddie Edwards versus Trick, and AJ Francis. System gets the win. Moose looked phenomenal. Moose pinned Trick Williams for the victory, and what we're going to get out of that now is Moose versus Trick Williams at Emergence for the TNA belt. Guys, decent job. Scored it a C+. All right, scored it a C+. It could have been better. It could have been worse. I know I'm low on time here. All right, SmackDown tonight, guys. One other thing too. We're gonna have some Joe Hendry stuff coming up here. The direction of TNA with Joe Hendry, I'm very interested to see how we're gonna finish this up, especially with Santana looming out there, and now with Moose getting the title shot. So you're seeing a lot of action out of some very, very big stars. It's gonna be good to see the direction that Dreamer goes with this. So TNA, watch it. All right, SmackDown tonight, guys, live from Newark, New Jersey, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern on USA. We got Julia taking on Zelina Vega for the U.S. title. Remember, this is our go-home show, SummerSlam tomorrow. Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. We've been getting into this match now for quite a while. Here's an interesting one, guys. Los Garza, who just won the AAA tag team belts, they are going to defend those AAA tag team belts on SmackDown tonight in an open challenge. So this could be interesting to see the direction we go. And you guys know I love to see Los Garza always in tag team action. They're fun to watch. Luchador action. All right. Lots of appearances scheduled tonight. We know Cody's going to be there. We know Cena's going to be there under one roof. I'm sure we'll get something out of that. Same can be said for Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. I'm sure we're going to get some Randy Orton, Jelly Roll, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul bullshit. So, there's a lot going on. And I will recap all of SmackDown tomorrow on the Slow Burn. Remember, I'm going to try to do an early show. It'll be before lunch when everything gets out, and we'll go from there, guys. And then also tomorrow, I will be giving my SummerSlam Night 1 Slow Burn predictions, and I'm probably going to get them all right because I am the smartest man alive. No, I'll probably miss all of them because I'm a fucking mark. So there you go, guys. As always, thanks for listening to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. And remember, folks, in this world, we are wrestling everything. Stay on top. Enjoy SmackDown tonight, guys. This has been the Slow Burn.